guys, I'm back with another video on the mine sites in Australia. This is part 2 of a series. Part 1 was how to get a job in the mine sites as a total beginner with 0 skills. I linked that below. This is part 2 and just explaining a little bit more what life on a mine site really looks like. If you're new here, I'm Laura and I live in Australia since the past 3 years or 3.5 years, and I've been working in FIFO, fly in, fly out in the mines for 1.5 years on and off. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of an insight because it can be a little bit frightening and weird to come here for the first time, but more on that later. So when you get your job and you're ready to fly out, the mine site will send you some flights. They're usually super early in the morning. Some of the flights start at 5:30. If you're lucky, you have a 7 o'clock flight and you can take the first train from Perth CBD to the airport. I think the first train runs at 5:16 from the CBD, but just check the train timetable, that might change. If you're driving to the airport, Perth Airport has a really good deal. It's $99 for up to 99 days staying in the long-term car park. It's just one entry, one exit. So if you do a 2-week swing and then you take your car out of the car park, you'll have to pay another $99 for putting your car back in. But that's a really good thing. There's security cameras, big fences. They even have like a starter help service if your car goes out in those 2 weeks. And I know a few backpackers have pretty old cars, so that might be helpful. I know one of my friends has used it in the past. I'll put that link for the long-term car park below. If you don't have a car and you need to store your things somewhere and you just can't leave it in the hostel or your accommodation or whatever, there's also Storage King really close to T3 and T4, which are the domestic terminals. I think it's $100 for a locker for a month. When I booked mine, they were running a half price off deal and it was $50. Maybe you can give them a call if that's something you want to look into. I just chucked my belongings in there for like 1 month and then I flew to the mine site, literally just walked from their head office to the terminal because they weren't there yet. If it's within their hours, they'll even give you a quick ride. Everything at the airport in Perth is pretty normal to any other flight you may take. The only exception is you can only bring one checked luggage with 10 kilograms and then one hand luggage piece. I think that's 7 kilograms. They don't really care too much. Like, I've brought way more in the past and they didn't really check, but those are the official rules, so just be aware of that. Then you just board the plane. Then when you arrive at the mine site airport, at your final destination, you'll just like go straight off the plane onto the landing platform, walk through, and it's a little bit like the walk of shame because everybody that goes onto the airplane, they are waiting there for the airplane to take off. You'll just walk straight through and then the luggage will be brought to like a certain area where you can grab your luggage. If you're there for the first time, you have no idea where anything is and you're a bit confused, just ask someone, say, where's the baggage claim here? Where can I grab my luggage? People are super friendly in this environment and they'll point you in the right direction. Once you picked up your luggage, you'll just take a bus to your camp. If you're on a bigger mine site, just make sure the bus is going to the right camp. Can't hurt, just say, oh, I'm booked into this camp, which bus do I need to take? Bus rides from the airport to the camp just really depends on the location of your camp. It can be like 5 minutes, can be 15 minutes, just depends a little bit. Then you arrive on the actual camp and you'll just head straight to the admin office, walk up there and say, hey, I'm brand new, and they'll point you in the right direction. They'll probably seat you in the back and have this one sort of onboarding program with you where they explain everything about this particular camp, the rules, what you'll be doing and everything. Part of the onboarding should always be a tour of the camp. So you see all the facilities, they'll show you to your room, they show you where the kitchen is, they show you where you pack your lunch, and every camp always has a really every kitchen. They always have what they call a crib room where you can collect food in the morning for the rest of your day. They also always have a tavern or a bar where you can hang out after work. Just gotta make sure you don't blow numbers in the mornings, because there's obviously a 0-0 policy. When you start your shift, you actually need to do a breathalyzing test in the morning. There's always going to be at least one gym with all sorts of machines and weights. There will also be some gym classes. Just ask the trainer that's walking around for that. You can also do private sessions for free with the trainers. If it's like a good time for them, you can just book that in. A lot of campsites have several. The one that I'm in right now has a basketball court, a cricket court, and a lawn bowl court. Like, that's the first time I've seen something like that. But the bigger sites will have a pool. Like, only the very little sites don't have a pool. Then you'll probably be shown to your room. I am sitting in my room right now. It's nice because in the beginning I kind of thought, oh yeah, I might be like in a dorm or so. But right, my first time, I had no idea. Everybody gets like a private room with their own bathroom, which is so nice. I took a video that I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, just quickly showing you guys the room. So you walk in. Got my beds all made up. Made it first day of arrival. Got a little bedside light. And I've got just gonna put on 0.5 so you can see it better. Got a little desk area, TV, fridge. Got a cupboard here. Already put my stuff in there. And then I've got the bathroom, shower. This is actually one of the nicer rooms that I've stayed in, and that's it. We do have laundries. You obviously need to like wash your work uniforms or your gym clothes, your personal clothes. So there is gonna be laundry rooms. They have washing powder. They have washing machines and dryers as well. There's also a medic at every camp. So if you get sick, if something happens, there is gonna be doctors and nurses there as well, which is really good to know, because I remember when I first started being in the mines, I remember my first swing, and I arrived there and I was like at the camp, everybody in their high-vis shirt, everybody just doing their jobs, and I felt so weird. I'm not sure if you've seen Black Mirror, but there's this one episode, I have to look up the name and then I'll put it down here. There's this one episode where everybody's wearing these gray trekking suits and they have to like ride the bike to collect some sort of points that equalizes to money, and then they can buy food. And at the end of the day, they are in their room, which is kind of their prison cell, and there's a TV streaming things, and if they want to click through the advertisements or change the channel, they have to like use their money as well. Like, it's super weird, and they have no connection to the outside world. And that is exactly how I felt in the beginning. It was such a weird feeling, such a new world, and I just feel like you have to experience it to see it. Now that I've been in this environment for so long, everything feels so natural and so normal to me. But it is pretty weird in the beginning to be in such a remote area. It's a container city. Like, it's a little container town that you just live in for those 2 weeks. And yeah, I recommend just make some friends with the other people in camp that are working there. Right now there's just such a high number of like young people and backpackers, so it's really easy to connect. I want to leave you with my 10 tips for your first time in the mine site. First tip: always flush the toilet before you go. In my room, I haven't seen it yet, but when I was working on a mine as a mine site cleaner out on site, I've seen frogs in the toilet, so just flush before you go. Second, bring your own laundry detergent if you have sensitive skin. Some of the mine sites, they have this like I don't know, industrial laundry powder, so if you have sensitive skin, you might want to bring your own. Number 3, bring a lot of Tupperware containers. Almost all sites now go 0 plastic policy, so you have to bring your own containers to pack your lunch in the morning. And I would recommend just like buy a few good ones. Like, don't only bring one, because there's so much food. Like, there's so much fruit, yogurt, dressings, salads. There's so much. Like, I just bring a couple of containers, maybe 2 big ones and like a small one for like a sauce or a dressing or whatever. And I might bring another one, because this is my 4th tip. Put water in a container and leave it in your room if you want to have your aircon on at night, because the aircon will otherwise suck the water out of you and make you super dehydrated, and that way it will drink the water from the little container. That's really healthy. Tip 5, I believe, Telstra SIM card. You want to make sure you have a Telstra SIM card. Almost nothing else works on the mine site, and yes, most mine sites do have Wi-Fi, but you just don't want to rely on that Wi-Fi, because if the Wi-Fi breaks down, which happens more often than you think, you just want to have still a phone that works. And tip number 6, are we 6 now? No, I think we're 7. Tip number 7, sun cream, swimsuit, gym stuff. Those are the things I recommend bringing besides from your work uniform in terms of clothing. You're gonna be in the sun a lot, even if you work in camp. The sun's so strong in the outback, in Australia in general. Just make sure you bring sun cream. Like if you want to chill at the pool, bring a swimsuit, because you may not know if there is a pool or not. Just bring one in case, and bring gym stuff if you're into working out, or even if you like just want to like walk around camp, maybe not in your uniform, I'd bring gym stuff. Tip number 8, bamboo socks and Vaseline. If you work in the kitchen or a job where you have to walk and stand a lot, you might get blisters in the beginning from wearing those steel cap boots for 12 hours, which is such a long period. So you want to make sure you have good bamboo socks. I bought mine at Kmart. I put a link to my boots and socks in the info box. And then I would just bring a tub of Vaseline to put on your feet at night, just to, like, you know, keep them soft and hydrate them and prevent them from getting blisters. That's like really, really important, because you do not want to stand in those boots if you have blisters. Tip number 9, your pajamas. If you bring pillowcases, bring them in bright colors. Like I have my own silk pillowcases. Right now they're really bad color because they're almost the same shade as the bed sheets. But if your pajamas, bring them in a different color, or put them away from your bed when you go out of your room, because if housekeeping comes and they do mid-swing clean, so if you're there for 2 weeks, they'll clean your room in the middle. I've had my things taken because they sometimes roll up the bed and don't even look what's on there and just take it away, and then there's very limited chance to getting that stuff back. So you just want to make sure that's bright colors, or just like take it off the bed, hang it on a hook during the day. Tip 10, some of the rooms can smell a little bit funny due to maybe the person that stayed there before, or even the drains in the bathroom. Sometimes has this really disgusting smell. Right now I'm really lucky, my room doesn't smell at all, but maybe I've seen people that brought like a diffuser, but like a simple thing that you hang in the car would do the trick. Don't bring a candle, you're not allowed candles, but like any sort of oil or like those little car trees would be fine. And in the beginning I also brought my fairy lights just to feel a little bit cozy. So those are all things you can bring as well. But those are my 10 tips. I hope you're ready for your first swing now, and yeah, good luck. a little bit of info to the Mindside slang. Some words can be a little bit weird in the beginning, but everybody uses them here, so just be prepared for that. Maybe the first few 5 or so that are important. I find wet mess, that's the tavern, the beer. The tavern and the bar. Dry mess is the kitchen, that's where you get your food. Crib is the area where you collect all the food for the day. Then an AOD is an alcohol or drug test. They might pull you up super randomly to get those done. Then a swing is basically one work stint, like one period of work that you fly up there. That's what's called a swing. And you might be on a 2-in-1 roster, or 8 and 6, very unlikely in the beginning, but a 2-in-1 is a 2-week on, 1 week off swing. And 8 and 6 would be 8 days on, 6 days off back home in Perth. Yeah, those are my 10 tips. I hope you feel a little bit more ready now for this whole experience. Hope you have a good first swing, and if you don't know how to get a job yet, make sure you watch part 1 of this series. I'll put the link in the info box below, and I'll also include a link with like an Amazon idea pin of things that you could get for your first swing.